Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 12380 Southeast Verlie Street here in Happy Valley. We are located at the front of the home. We are just off to the right of the doorway. If you're hunting for your cleanout, you're about 2 feet to the right of this vent closest to the door. We have a 4-inch ABS cleanout as our point of access. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running, and I just zeroed out the foot counter there at the bottom of the cleanout. And then the basement area here is serviced by an ejector pump. The upstairs appears to be gravity fed. But downstairs is reliant on a pump, so just keep that in mind. Those things at some point in their existence will burn out. A lot of times they've got 15, 20-year lives on them, if not longer. But just be aware of that. If the power goes out or something of that nature, or the pump burns out, your basement area will not be usable until that's fixed. But what I like about the ejectors, especially when it's just part of the home utilizing it, is they often keep your sewer line far cleaner than it would normally be, because they're blasting so much stuff through the line at one time. They're almost like an in-house drain cleaning system. Now we're making a transition here over to 4-inch 3034. We're going to take a second look here at this joint. As I approach this spot here, you've got an item dangling down from the top of the pipe, right here in the black ABS. And then once I cross into this, you have some kind of stringy item there that almost looks like a root hair. We'll take a second look at that on the way out. It's a hard spot to get a good view of because we're on a really hard drop there and the camera turns. There's some stuff there that looks like it could feasibly be roots. And then here at our main lateral connection, about 68 feet out. Now we're going to go locate the camera head here just to verify where the line terminates. And then we'll have a better view of everything as we come back. As far as flow goes, the line has great flow to the main. Alright, located the camera head successfully. The line terminates the main out here on Southeast Verlie Street. The line crosses starts out 10 feet or so to the right of the front door, ends up going over underneath the driveway. About halfway underneath the driveway is where it turns and then heads out to the main. In case you're curious how the line's routed. And there are trees in the vicinity, but where I'm locating this stuff, they're a fair distance away from those joints. Doesn't make it impossible, but the trees that I'm seeing out here are not monster 100-foot tall trees, which makes it less likely that roots are able to get to that distance and depth. These are tricky ones to confirm. I hope we get a better view here as we come back when the line's all drained out. There's the end of that stringy item, and unfortunately it's kind of gunked up with some grease. That tan stuff there is grease. So anyway, there's that first item there that dangles down, which too is also completely caked over with grease buildup, which makes it harder to confirm what this actually is here. And then the best view I get, you can follow that stringy item in the green pipe up to a spot there at the transition joint. This is a very difficult one to confirm here. That almost looks like a piece of dental floss got caught on some grease. And stringy stuff often gets hung up on pipe joints. You can see there's a little bit of a gap there, which is not open to the ground. It gives an edge for stuff to get caught on as it comes down the line. Yeah, this is a tough one to confirm here. Both little stringy dangly items I'm seeing, they do originate at pipe joints, but they're so gunked up with grease, and there's just not a lot of it there to begin with. If they are roots, they're very small at this point. I'm going to go locate and see where this is at here. The best I'm going to be able to do here today is say that it's a possible root intrusion. in my opinion, there's not enough there to confirm anything. And when I get certain views of this piece of stringy, or whatever the heck it is, it almost looks like it's braided, like a piece of dental floss or string. Some very subtle little lines going horizontally across it that almost makes it look like a piece of dental floss, which would not surprise me. But I'm going to go see where it's at here. Alright, I'm picking up a signal here under the driveway. It's coming in a little bit weak and bouncy. The line appears to be very, very deep. My locator, where I'm at right now, which is right in the middle of the driveway, the locator's bouncing around between about 10 and 14 feet deep. Yeah, and that puts it, the area there, at least 20 feet away from two different trees, somewhere in that ballpark, but it also appears to be quite deep. At this point, in my opinion, there's not enough here to just go ahead and recommend a repair on this. This other item here in the black ABS pipe that's hanging down there can just as easily be excess pipe glue that's been gunked up with grease over time. And then the little stringy item there, you know, these are, don't get me wrong, they're possible roots. There's just not enough here, in my opinion, not enough visible showing that is just blatantly obvious that it's a root coming through. And because none of this is affecting functionality, this is a situation where I'm going to call this a possible root. I would keep an eye on the sewer line. I'd probably rescope it. In fact, what I'd do even more so than that is I'd run a drain cleaning machine through here, auger, jet, flex shaft, something like that, to knock this stuff loose. And it might give you a better view here as well if you can get some of the grease cleaned up. But I would try and get rid of all that and then rescope the sewer line in about a year, 6 months to a year, to see if anything has changed, grown back, anything of that sort. You've got two back-to-back spots here at 39 feet that, anyway, they're, luckily, if it is a root intrusion, they're right next to each other, so it would be one repair. And this is an area here where I would, if I was doing a repair on this, I wouldn't even dig the driveway up. I'd look into doing an epoxy liner on it, which is trenchless. Otherwise, be a very, I mean, no matter how you shake it, it's expensive, but digging that up would be 3 times more probably in cost than just doing a liner on it. The way that stuff's displaying itself there, it's very difficult. I mean, the only thing that, in my opinion, makes it look like a root is there's some stringy stuff hanging down from the top of the pipe. There is lots of stuff that goes down sewer lines and or, you know, pipe glue, excess pipe glue that drips after the line's installed and hardens that way and then gets gunked up with grease over time, which wouldn't surprise me, especially at the bottom of a hard drop like that. The debris and everything coming through there is moving so fast. When it hits the bottom of that drop, it splashes upwards, and some of that junk will ride the top of the pipe because that line is pitched at such a hard angle. But I would highly recommend rescoping the line in time, and I would recommend drain cleaning it to remove those 2 items there so that you have a much better view of everything if you come back and rescope in 6 months to a year. If something's grown back or come back there, you've got much more certainty that it's actually a root and not just debris that's gone down the line. Now we're going to go ahead and reel the camera out of the sewer line. Aside from a possible issue there at 39 feet, the rest of the sewer line appears to be in good condition, has good flow, and is functioning properly at this time. The line functions beautifully.